Jacob is not only a familiar name but also a symbol of faith and prosperity in biblical history. His life, from his birth as the heel grabber to becoming the father of 12 sons, is a series of miraculous and transformative events. Each son of Jacob not only has a name but also carries a story, a blessing, and a special role in God's plan. In this video, we will delve into the lives of each son, exploring the meanings of their names, the challenges they faced, and the legacy they left for the people of Israel. If you enjoy discovering these stories, subscribe and join us as we explore the Bible through each meaningful page of history. Jacob is one of the most central and complex figures in the Old Testament, bearing the responsibility and blessing of a lineage chosen by God. Born as the son of Isaac and the grandson of Abraham, Jacob belonged to a lineage promised to grow into a great nation, a people who would be a light to the entire world. Unlike the lives of many chosen individuals, Jacob's journey was not paved with roses. From the name Jacob, meaning heel grabber or deceiver, his life was destined to be a series of conflicts and challenges. At birth, he held onto the heel of his brother Esau, signaling a life that would constantly face rivalry and tension. As they grew up, the relationship between Jacob and Esau became more complicated and tumultuous. Encouraged by his mother Rebekah, Jacob deceived his father Isaac to receive the blessing that rightfully belonged to the eldest. This action not only hurt family bonds but also forced Jacob to flee from his homeland and leave all his loved ones. He sought refuge at his uncle Laban's home, where life was far from easy. It was there that he learned to confront schemes, face his true self, and gradually change. During this journey, he encountered God profoundly, and at Bethel he was affirmed that God had chosen him, just as he had chosen Abraham and Isaac before him. God promised that a nation as numerous as the sands on the shore would come from him, and through this promise, Jacob realized the true meaning of his life. And before we continue exploring this fascinating story, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button to dive deeper with us into the insightful and meaningful stories of the Bible. Your support will help us continue sharing valuable lessons and building a community that cherishes the Word of God. Jacob's life is a testament to the transformation that God can bring, turning a man known for his cunning and rivalry into a symbol of renewal and reconciliation. After years of hard labor under his uncle Laban, Jacob longed to return to his homeland where he had once caused a rift with his brother Esau. This journey home was not only a geographic return, but also a turning point of the soul. Jacob now sought to confront the consequences of his past and yearned for peace, a clear sign of inner maturity. On his way back, Jacob had a profound and mysterious encounter with God, in the form of a mysterious man. That night-long struggle was not merely a physical battle, but also a symbol of the spiritual journey Jacob had to face, discovering his true identity and his place in God's grand plan. As the sun rose, God gave Jacob a new name, Israel, meaning one who wrestles with God. This was a turning point not only in name but also in destiny. Jacob was no longer a man seeking to take everything, but was now chosen by God to build a sacred nation. Jacob's 12 sons are not merely names in a genealogy. They are the foundation of the 12 tribes of Israel, tribes that would shape the identity and soul of this nation in the future. Each son, born of different mothers, Leah, Rachel, Bilhah, and Zilpah, symbolizes unique characteristics and qualities playing a role beyond mere lineage. The rivalry and divisions within Jacob's family create a complex picture where each son had to strive to establish his position and seek love. This complex family also becomes a microcosm of the future nation of Israel. The blessings and prophecies that Jacob and Moses bestowed upon the 12 sons not only shaped their individual futures, but also reflected the qualities and challenges each tribe would carry. Through each son, God shaped a nation of diversity and strength, a people who would be a light among nations, with each member an indispensable piece in his divine plan. Leah, the wife whom Jacob loved less, bore him 6 sons: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun, forming the initial foundations of the tribes of Israel. Rachel, Jacob's beloved wife, bore him 2 sons, Joseph and Benjamin. Additionally, Bilhah, Rachel's maidservant, bore Dan and Naphtali, while Zilpah, Leah's maidservant, bore Gad and Asher. These 12 sons became the forefathers of the tribes that would settle in the Promised Land, where their legacy would continue through generations. Each son of Jacob is not merely a part of the lineage but represents diverse aspects of human nature. Among them, some exhibit qualities of courage and leadership, while others display temper and betrayal. The interactions among the brothers create a complex picture, reflecting the diversity of a large family and foreshadowing the conflicts that would later arise among the tribes of Israel. They competed for attention, formed alliances, and clashed, setting the stage for political and spiritual struggles as the nation of Israel continued to grow. Although all 12 were sons of Jacob, they did not hold equal positions or blessings. Reuben, the firstborn, with the birthright and a double portion of inheritance, lost his position due to a thoughtless act, causing his leadership role to pass to another. Simeon and Levi, known for their fiery and violent temperaments, also did not maintain high positions. Meanwhile, Judah, though not the eldest, rose as a leader, becoming the ancestor of King David, and, over time, the lineage through which Jesus Christ would come. Joseph, Jacob's most beloved son, received a special blessing that extended beyond himself to his 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. This blessing created a unique situation where Joseph's descendants formed 2 distinct tribes, significantly contributing to the structure of the nation of Israel. Benjamin, the youngest son, received his father's final blessing, known as the ancestor of a mighty tribe renowned for its brave and resilient warriors. Each son of Jacob represents not only a part of the family, but also an aspect of the social and spiritual structure that God wanted to build within his people. From Judah's leadership to Simeon and Levi's fiery temperaments, each son brings a unique lesson about faith, obedience, and the consequences of personal choices. Some were blessed with leadership, while others were warned of conflict and hardship. Each was destined to contribute to the formation of a covenant nation with God, continuing the promise he had given to Abraham. Through Jacob's 12 sons, God transformed a single family into a great nation, a people meant to be a light to other nations. The role of each son in the larger Old Testament narrative is a crucial factor in understanding Israel's history. The tribes not only developed their own identities and strengths, but also faced challenges tied to their divine mission. The blessings and prophecies from Jacob and Moses not only shaped each individual's destiny, but also reflected the nature and future of the tribe bearing their names. The number 12 holds symbolic significance in biblical theology, representing completeness and order, linked to the fulfillment of God's promise. Thus, the 12 sons are not merely descendants of Jacob, but also a reflection of God's plan for his people. From the 12 tribes of Israel to Jesus' 12 disciples and the 12 gates of the new city in Revelation, this number reappears as a symbol of harmony and the fulfillment of divine intentions. The role of each son was predestined, and their presence in Israel's history became a larger spiritual reality, creating a vast tableau of faith and redemption. Now that we have a clear understanding of the identities and positions of the 12 sons, we will delve into their individual characteristics and the unique blessings they received from their father. Your like would be a huge motivation for us to continue producing more quality videos in the future. Reuben, the firstborn son of Jacob and Leah. From birth, he was expected to be the heir to the family's wealth and spirit. He represents Jacob's first strength, the early hope and pride of his parents. His name, Reuben, means "behold a son," a name filled with expectation, reflecting Leah's hope that her position in Jacob's heart would be strengthened through their firstborn. Reuben's position was not only as the eldest, but also as the symbol of the family, bestowed with the birthright, a double inheritance, the responsibility to lead his brothers, and a promising future. Reuben's youth revealed many qualities of a responsible elder brother. When his brothers envied and plotted to kill Joseph, it was Reuben who intervened. He advised them not to shed their brother's blood and suggested throwing Joseph into a pit instead of killing him, intending to return and rescue him. Though imperfect, this action demonstrated his desire to protect the family and restrain unnecessary violence, a sign of true leadership. However, Reuben's fate took a different turn when he committed an irreparable mistake. In a moment of thoughtlessness, he sinned with Bilhah, his father's concubine and the mother of Dan and Naphtali. In ancient times, this act was considered a direct challenge to authority, a move implying the intent to take over his father's position by claiming his father's concubine. For Reuben, however, this act was not a display of strength, but of lack of control and judgment. This moment not only deeply damaged his father's honor, but also disrupted the sacred order within the family, leaving an indelible scar between father and son. Jacob, though in pain, did not immediately reprimand his son. He maintained silence, a silence as heavy as thunder, full of implicit meaning and disappointment too profound to express. It was not until his later years, when Jacob blessed his sons, that he finally confronted Reuben and delivered his final judgment. "Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, the beginning of my strength, the excellence of dignity, and the excellence of power. But you are as unstable as water, and you will not excel, for you went up to your father's bed, you defiled it." Genesis 49:3-4. The phrase "unstable as water" became his haunting mark, a profound image of Reuben's nature. Water, though essential to life, when uncontrolled, becomes a destructive and formless force. Similarly, Reuben's character, though promising, lacked the stability and steadfastness to be a worthy leader. The relationship between Reuben and Jacob thus never fully healed. In his judgment, Jacob transferred the leadership and special blessing of the firstborn to other brothers, notably Judah and Joseph. This was a clear declaration that Reuben's leadership position had been permanently forfeited. The Bible does not provide many details about Reuben's feelings, but his silence, like a ghostly presence, suggests a deep and quiet regret. He never justified or explained his actions, but quietly faded in his role as the eldest, giving way to younger brothers like Judah and Joseph. Rather than a dramatic confrontation, Reuben's fall was a slow and silent fading, where his influence gradually dissipated. Jacob's final words to Reuben were not a curse, but a reminder of what was lost. He had all the advantages: the love of his mother, the position of the firstborn, and a bright future. Yet, in a single moment of lack of discipline, he lost it all. Reuben's story is not just the tragedy of an elder brother, but a cautionary tale about the power of self-control, character, and responsibility. Even the greatest potential can dissipate from a single thoughtless act. And true leadership requires not only talent, but also wisdom, steadfastness, and loyalty to the sacred values of family. What are your thoughts on this character? Share your opinion in the comments. 55. Simeon, the second son of Jacob and Leah, is a complex and intense character, driven by strong emotions and fierce loyalty to his family. His name, derived from the Hebrew meaning "to be heard," reflects Leah's belief that God had heard her cry as she sought love and recognition from Jacob. Although he had great potential as a brother, Simeon's story is marked by impulsiveness and uncontrolled anger, leading to actions whose consequences extended far beyond himself and affected generations to come. Simeon's fiery nature is most evident in the massacre at Shechem, a horrific and notable event in the Bible. The incident began when Dinah, Simeon's sister, was violated by Shechem, the prince of that land. Although Shechem later wanted to marry Dinah and his family proposed an alliance between the two clans, Simeon and his brother Levi could not forgive this offense. To them, Shechem's act was an insult that required a price, and nothing less than ruthless vengeance could satisfy them. Pretending to agree to Shechem's proposal, Simeon and Levi demanded that every male in Shechem undergo circumcision. When the men agreed and were suffering in pain, Simeon and Levi drew their swords, launching a surprise attack and slaughtering the entire city, including Shechem and his father Hamor. This action shocked and horrified the surrounding people and their father, Jacob. When he learned of it, Jacob was furious and warned his sons, "You have brought trouble on me by making me obnoxious to the inhabitants of the land. If they gather together and attack me, I and my household will be destroyed. Genesis 34:30. However, this warning did not shake Simeon and Levi. They coldly replied, "Should he treat our sister like a prostitute?" To them, family honor was inviolable, and their rage blinded them to the larger consequences. Simeon's actions not only angered neighboring nations, but also caused concern within his own family. Only through God's intervention did the surrounding nations refrain from vengeance, sparing Jacob's family from the risk of annihilation. However, within Jacob, the disappointment and pain over Simeon's actions never faded. Unlike Reuben's fall caused by a personal mistake, Simeon's story serves as an example of zeal gone out of control. He was determined to defend his family's honor, but blind revenge turned his actions into a crime. Simeon's temper and rigidity were further evident in his relationship with Joseph, the favored son of Jacob. Simeon's envy and resentment towards Joseph, fueled by Joseph's dreams of one day ruling over his brothers, deepened his animosity. When the opportunity to get rid of Joseph arose, Simeon was one of the strongest instigators, participating in selling Joseph into slavery and lying to Jacob about his supposed death. The ruthlessness and decisiveness of this act further emphasized his rigid, unforgiving nature. Years later, when Joseph, now a powerful leader in Egypt, reunited with his brothers, it was Simeon whom Joseph held as a hostage while the others returned. This decision was not random. It was a form of justice for Simeon's role in the betrayal years before. This moment also revealed that, despite the passing of many years, the consequences of Simeon's actions still haunted him like an indelible shadow. Simeon's life vividly illustrates how a lack of emotional control can ruin a person. His zeal to protect his family turned into blind violence, and the justice he sought became a lifelong obsession. Finally, in Jacob's blessing to his sons, he clearly expressed his disappointment with Simeon. Simeon and Levi are brothers. Their swords are weapons of violence. Cursed be their anger, so fierce, and their fury so cruel. Genesis 49:5-7. This marked the end of Simeon's dreams of leadership and glory. Simeon never had the opportunity to recover from his actions. He is a vivid example of a man whose loyalty and anger clouded his judgment and ethics. While some of his brothers grew and changed, Simeon remained imprisoned by his own rigidity and impulsiveness. His story is a reminder of the cost of anger and lack of restraint, as well as the consequences of letting emotions govern actions without considering long-term repercussions. Levi, the third son of Jacob and Leah, is a complex character with intense passion and deep loyalty to his family. Like many of his brothers, he began his journey with decisive actions. But in Levi's story, this intensity underwent a significant transformation, shifting from violence to a unique, sacred role. Levi's story is a testament to the power of redemption and how God transforms a person to serve a higher purpose. The darkest turning point in Levi's life occurred when he, along with his brother Simeon, carried out the massacre at Shechem. After their sister Dinah was violated by Prince Shechem, Levi and Simeon decided to reclaim family honor through a ruthless act of revenge, as previously recounted. Many years later, in his final blessings, Jacob condemned the anger and violence of Levi and Simeon. Simeon and Levi are brothers. Their swords are weapons of violence. Cursed be their anger so fierce and their fury so cruel. I will scatter them in Jacob and disperse them in Israel. Genesis 49:5-7. This prophecy shaped Levi's destiny, as he and his descendants were scattered and received no inheritance of land like the other tribes. However, Levi's story did not end in condemnation. The intensity in his character when redirected became a source of strength for the people of Israel. Generations later, under the leadership of Moses, Levi's descendants experienced a turning point when they stood with God during the incident of the golden calf worship at Mount Sinai. When the Israelites betrayed God by worshipping a false idol, it was the tribe of Levi that rose up, supporting Moses and upholding holiness. Due to this zeal, the tribe of Levi was entrusted with significant responsibilities, serving in the temple, teaching the law and maintaining purity in Israel's worship practices. Moses declared, "Today you have been set apart for the Lord, for you were against your own sons and brothers, and he has blessed you this day." Due to their loyalty to God, the Levites were set apart to assume the priestly role, becoming caretakers of the tabernacle and representatives of God's holy presence among the people of Israel. Jacob's prophecy about their dispersion was no longer a punishment but a means to establish them as guardians of law and holiness throughout Israel. Levi, once a man of explosive anger and cruelty, became a symbol of holy zeal, transforming from violence to serving God. Although dispersed, the tribe of Levi became the spiritual teachers of the nation, possessing not land inheritance but a greater privilege, serving in the presence of God. This is a powerful image of purification and the strength of zeal when directed rightly. What are your thoughts on the brothers Simeon and Levi? Judah, the fourth son of Jacob and Leah, is a deeply influential and significant figure in Israel's history. Among the 12 brothers, he was neither the eldest nor specially favored by his father like Joseph, yet his life opened a path to leadership that few could have anticipated. Judah symbolizes the transformation from personal failings to a great role, becoming the ancestor of King David and, according to prophecy, the lineage of Jesus Christ. Judah's story begins like those of his brothers, full of flaws and challenges. He played a crucial role in the incident of selling Joseph into slavery, as it was he who suggested selling Joseph to the Ishmaelites. Though this action stemmed from jealousy, it also showed a touch of mercy as Judah saved Joseph from death. When Joseph's brothers plotted to kill him out of jealousy, they were furious at seeing him as their father's favorite son, and because of his dreams, which foretold that he would one day rule over them. This anger led them to the intent of killing Joseph when he came to meet them in the field. Initially, Reuben, Joseph's eldest brother, persuaded his siblings not to kill Joseph outright, but to throw him into a dry pit, hoping he would later rescue him. However, when Reuben left, the brothers continued discussing what to do with Joseph. At this point, Judah spoke up and suggested, "What profit is there if we kill Joseph and cover up his blood? Let's sell him to the Ishmaelites instead of killing him, for he is our brother, our own flesh." Genesis 37:26-27. Judah's suggestion redirected his brother's intentions from killing Joseph to selling him into slavery. As a result, Joseph's life was spared, and he was sold to a caravan heading to Egypt. This decision by Judah marked a pivotal turning point, as Joseph's survival later led him to become a ruler in Egypt, saving his family and the nation from famine. This decision somewhat lessened the crime compared to the brothers' initial plan, but it still left a stain on his life and his relationship with Jacob. After this event, Judah's life continued with other trials. A prominent story about him involves his daughter-in-law, Tamar. After Tamar's husband, Judah's son, passed away, she married Judah's second son according to the Levirate custom, but this son also died without leaving children. Judah then promised to give his youngest son to Tamar in marriage once he grew up, but he did not fulfill this promise. Desperate and unprotected, Tamar disguised herself and conceived children with Judah without revealing her identity. When the matter was revealed, Judah initially intended to judge Tamar, but upon realizing his own fault, he admitted his mistake, saying, "She is more righteous than I, since I did not give her to my son Shelah." Genesis 38:26. This was a pivotal moment showing Judah's repentance and humility. Through painful experiences and mistakes, Judah gradually transformed himself, becoming a reliable leader among his brothers. When famine struck and Jacob's sons had to go to Egypt for food, Judah took responsibility for the safety of his younger brother Benjamin before their father. He told Jacob, "I will be a pledge of safety for him, and if I do not bring him back, I will bear the blame before you all my life." Genesis 43:9. This commitment showed Judah's transformation, being willing to sacrifice himself to protect his family. When the brothers arrived in Egypt, and Joseph, now a high official in the Egyptian court, tested them by accusing Benjamin of stealing a silver cup, it was Judah who stepped up to defend his brother. He pleaded with Joseph, not knowing he was the brother they had sold years before, that he would offer himself as a slave so that Benjamin could return to their father. These heartfelt words demonstrated Judah's transformation from a jealous and calculating person to one willing to sacrifice everything for the love and honor of his family. Judah's loyalty and courage led Jacob to acknowledge him in his final blessings, even granting him leadership within the family. Jacob declared, "The scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until he to whom it belongs shall come, and the obedience of the nations shall be his." Genesis 49:10. This prophecy was significant, foretelling Judah's lineage that would bring forth the kings of Israel, including King David and Jesus Christ. From then on, the tribe of Judah became the center of the nation of Israel, renowned for courage and loyalty. This tribe was entrusted with leading in battles and holding leadership across all Israel. Judah's legacy is not only one of strength and leadership, but also of transformation from a flawed individual to a faithful and worthy leader. Judah's story is an example of redemption and how God can transform flawed individuals, using them for his purpose. From a man with a past full of mistakes, Judah became the foundation of redemption, the ancestor of Jesus Christ, who is called the Lion of the tribe of Judah, Revelation 5:5, bringing hope and salvation to the world. His story is proof that no matter how flawed the past may be, God can use repentance and transformation to create great leaders. Feel free to share additional stories about Judah in the comments for everyone to learn. Issachar, the fifth son of Jacob and Leah, is a quieter character among his brothers, but he holds significant importance in Israel's legacy. The name Issachar originates from Hebrew, meaning man of labor or reward, reflecting his life and role within his family and tribe. Issachar's life is marked by hard work, loyalty, and a willingness to serve, making him and his descendants symbols of steadfastness and enduring diligence. Issachar does not stand out with grand events or fierce conflicts like his brothers, but he possesses a special quality acknowledged by Jacob in his final blessings. Jacob describes Issachar as a strong donkey lying down between two burdens. He bowed his shoulder to bear and became a servant to tribute. Genesis 49:14-15. This image seems simple but holds many layers of deep meaning. The strong donkey symbolizes resilience and a willingness to accept heavy responsibilities. Despite carrying burdens, Issachar does not falter. Instead, he perseveres with a spirit of acceptance and service. The phrase "lying down between two burdens" reflects not only his hardworking nature, but also suggests a central role within his family and tribe, where he served as a mediator and an important source of support for his brothers. Issachar may not have aspired to leadership or power like Judah, but he remained a steadfast pillar in the family, helping to maintain stability in difficult times. His life is a testament to patience, a willingness to sacrifice for the greater good, and loyalty to his duty. Issachar's role in the family continued through his legacy. The tribe of Issachar later became known for their wisdom and understanding of political situations. According to the Chronicles, the sons of Issachar, those who had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do, 1 Chronicles 12:32. Issachar's descendants were not only diligent workers, but also people with an understanding of the times, capable of making wise decisions on important national matters. This shows that although Issachar may have lived a quiet life, his tribe developed with discernment and leadership qualities, shaping Israel's future. The tribe of Issachar was also described as loyal warriors who stood alongside other tribes in times of difficulty. The combination of understanding the times and a willingness to fight made them a reliable and respected force throughout Israel. They did not seek lofty positions, but their perseverance and honesty made the tribe of Issachar one of the solid foundations of the nation. From Issachar's life, we learn that leaders are not always the ones in the spotlight. Sometimes the most important roles belong to those who work quietly behind the scenes, taking on responsibilities and helping maintain stability without seeking recognition. Issachar is a symbol of loyalty, resilience, and humility, qualities that made him and his descendants an indispensable part of God's plan. Issachar's life reminds us that God calls not only those who are prominent or powerful, but also those who are willing to serve with humility and steadfastness. Issachar was not the most prominent in his family, but his endurance and loyalty made his tribe an inspiration for those who wish to live a life of service and dedication to a purpose greater than themselves. Zebulun, the sixth son of Jacob and Leah, is a unique character with a life and mission distinct from his brothers. His name means dwelling or habitation, reflecting Leah's hope that her husband would become attached to her because of this son. Although Zebulun is not prominent in biblical stories, his descendants developed into a tribe with an important role connected to the sea and commerce, becoming Israel's gateway to the world. In his final blessings, Jacob prophesied, "Zebulun will live by the seashore and become a haven for ships. His border will extend toward Sidon." Genesis 49:13. This indicates that the tribe of Zebulun would have a close connection with the sea and commerce, becoming a center of trade and a harbor for ships from around the world. This advantageous geographic location not only brought prosperity to Zebulun, but also contributed to Israel's overall economy, helping the nation connect with the outside world and thrive. The tribe of Zebulun was known as skilled merchants and talented sailors. Through trade with other nations, they brought abundant wealth not only to their tribe, but to all of Israel. They imported goods, fostering cultural diversity and broadening Israel's perspective, becoming symbols of connection and international exchange. Through this trade relationship, Zebulun helped promote prosperity and stability for all of Israel. The relationship between Zebulun and his brother Issachar is also a unique example of harmonious cooperation. In Israel's tradition, the tribe of Zebulun often provided for the tribe of Issachar, who were responsible for studying and teaching the law. Through financial support from Zebulun, the tribe of Issachar could fully dedicate themselves to spiritual teaching and leadership, offering wisdom and counsel to the people. This was a perfect division of roles. Zebulun ensured material wealth, while Issachar cared for spiritual life, creating a meaningful symbiosis that strengthened the nation. Zebulun also stood out for their courage and loyalty. In the book of Judges, the tribe of Zebulun was willing to fight alongside Deborah and Barak to protect Israel from enemy oppression. This story shows that although Zebulun was primarily engaged in trade and the sea, they did not hesitate to join the battle to defend their homeland. The book of Judges describes them as brave warriors who risked their lives in battle. Judges 5:18. Reflecting their willingness to sacrifice for the community and a deep patriotism. In Moses' blessings for the tribes of Israel, he also mentioned Zebulun, saying that they would rejoice in their going out, Deuteronomy 33:18, referring to the joy they found in trade journeys and sea exploration. Moses also said that Zebulun and Issachar would draw from the abundance of the seas and the treasures hidden in the sand, Deuteronomy 33:19. This highlights the wealth they gained from the sea and Zebulun's resource extraction abilities, making them a source of economic abundance for Israel. Zebulun, although without prominent stories like his brothers, left a significant legacy. His tribe contributed to Israel's wealth and its connections with other nations, expanding influence and bringing benefits to the nation. Zebulun's life is a testament to the importance of balancing different roles within the community, as he became a bridge, the doorway of Israel to the world, while also serving as a reliable supporter for the tribes focused on spiritual matters. Zebulun's legacy also reminds us that although one may not appear as prominently as leaders, each person has a unique and irreplaceable role in God's plan. Zebulun and his tribe show that a nation's prosperity and development rely not only on military strength or leadership power, but also on those who contribute to the economy, promote cooperation, and build lasting relationships. Zebulun, with his courage and work ethic, became a symbol of steadfastness, wisdom, and loyalty, helping Israel become not only a holy nation, but also a prosperous one with an expanded vision. Gad, the seventh son of Jacob and the firstborn of Zilpah, Leah's maidservant, embodied strength and a warrior spirit. His name means fortunate or happy, but his life and role in the family were more closely associated with a warrior's spirit than with luck. Embodied strength and a warrior spirit. His name means fortunate or happy, but his life and role in the family were more closely associated with a warrior's spirit than with luck. Gad's tribe, his descendants, became known as strong and courageous warriors, renowned for their ability to defend borders and their unwavering loyalty in battles to protect Israel. When blessing his sons, Jacob spoke of Gad. Gad will be attacked by a band of raiders, but he will attack them at their heels. Genesis 49:19. This prophecy suggests that the tribe of Gad would be brave soldiers, ready to face danger and unwilling to retreat from any enemy. The tribe of Gad was tasked with guarding Israel's eastern border, a challenging position frequently exposed to enemy attacks. This established a strong identity for the tribe of Gad, as those born to fight and defend the land. During Israel's time in the wilderness, the tribe of Gad consistently led in battles. They were skilled soldiers, willing to sacrifice to protect their people and unafraid to face fierce conflicts. When Jacob blessed them, he emphasized Gad's relentless fighting spirit as those who not only endured but actively attacked to protect their honor and territory. Later, in Moses' blessings for the tribes, he described Gad as one blessed in expanding his territory. Moses declared, "Blessed is he who enlarges Gad's domain. He chose the best land for himself. The leader's portion was kept for him." Deuteronomy 33:20-21. This implies the wisdom and foresight of the tribe of Gad in selecting fertile and defensible land. Gad and his descendants were not only resilient warriors, but also protectors of the nation's assets and resources, helping Israel maintain safety and prosperity. The tribe of Gad stood out not only in battle but also in their loyalty and perseverance for the nation. They were not ones to seek fame or personal glory, but fought for the common good of the community. Their presence in battles brought confidence and hope to other tribes, as they were known to be fearless protectors. Gad's life and legacy remind us that protection and resilience are essential for a nation's prosperity. Although there are few details about Gad's personal life, his tribe left a deep mark on Israel's history with their unwavering spirit and loyalty. Gad symbolizes warriors who fight not just for strength but for dedication to the mission of protecting their kin and their holy land. Asher, the eighth son of Jacob and the second son of Zilpah, Leah's maidservant, has a name that means happiness or joy. His name reflects the joy Leah felt at his birth, and over time the tribe of Asher became a symbol of prosperity and abundant blessings. Unlike some of his brothers who were associated with warfare and conflict, Asher and his descendants brought peace and wealth to Israel, known for their bountiful produce and valuable resources. When blessing his sons, Jacob said, "Asher's food will be rich, he will provide delicacies fit for a king." Genesis 49:20. This prophesied the abundant life the tribe of Asher would enjoy. With fertile lands along the Mediterranean coast, the tribe of Asher was blessed with rich soil suitable for agriculture and food production. Asher and his descendants could utilize these natural resources to provide food not only for Israel, but also for rulers, creating economic stability for the entire nation. In Moses' blessing for the tribes of Israel, he also emphasized Asher's prosperity. "Most blessed of sons is Asher. Let him be favored by his brothers, and let him dip his foot in oil." Deuteronomy 33:24. The image of dipping his foot in oil symbolizes wealth, indicating that the tribe of Asher was a valuable and abundant resource for Israel. Indeed, Asher's land was said to be rich in oils and produce, contributing to prosperity and a comfortable life for the people in the area. Although not prominent warriors like the tribes of Gad or Judah, the tribe of Asher had another important contribution: providing and sustaining Israel's economy. They were skilled farmers and merchants, providing agricultural products, especially olive oil, a valuable commodity for daily life and religious rituals. With the abundance and resources they possessed, the tribe of Asher helped maintain economic stability and supported other tribes when needed. Asher's wealth and blessings extended beyond the material realm. In Jewish culture, he is also seen as a symbol of joy and peace. The tribe of Asher rarely participated in conflicts, instead leading a peaceful life focused on farming and trade. They became an inspiration for a life of happiness, harmony, and tranquility, helping to balance the nation of Israel. Asher's story reminds us that prosperity and joy are also divine gifts from God. Not all tribes are meant to be warriors or prominent leaders. Some, like Asher, are destined to bring peace, abundance, and stability to the nation. Asher is a testament that in God's plan, everyone has a unique and valuable role contributing to the harmony and growth of the entire people. Asher's legacy, filled with abundance and gratitude, has left a profound lesson. Although life may not always be tumultuous or glorious, living with joy and contentment can still bring a tremendous impact to the community. The tribe of Asher symbolizes abundance and gratitude, living up to his name and becoming a source of joy and blessing for all of Israel. Naphtali, the 9th son of Jacob and the 2nd son of Bilhah, Rachel's maidservant, is a unique figure in the family, embodying a spirit of freedom and independence. The name Naphtali means struggle or wrestling, reflecting the competition and challenges within the family at the time of his birth. Rachel, mother of Joseph and Bilhah, desired to have children to compete with her sister Leah, and in that context Naphtali was born, marking her joy and hope. Jacob's blessing for Naphtali is one of the most symbolic prophecies. Naphtali is a doe set free that bears beautiful forms. Genesis 49:21. The image of a doe set free symbolizes a free spirit, speed, and agility, which would become defining traits of the tribe of Naphtali. The tribe of Naphtali became known for their flexibility and swiftness, likened to courageous warriors filled with speed and strength. Their spirit of freedom and openness made them pioneers in battles, moving swiftly and fighting fiercely to defend Israel. Naphtali and his descendants inherited land in northern Israel, a fertile and resource-rich area that included the region around the Sea of Galilee. This location not only benefited them economically, allowing the tribe of Naphtali to prosper, but also gave them the strategic ability to defend Israel's northern border from external enemies. In battles defending Israel, the tribe of Naphtali frequently participated and made significant contributions, standing out for their courage and unwavering fighting spirit. In the book of Judges, the tribe of Naphtali is mentioned as a courageous force, willing to join Deborah and Barak in their fight against the army of King Jabin, ruler of the Canaanites. Thanks to Naphtali's cooperation and bravery, the Israelites achieved an important victory against foreign powers. The book of Judges describes the tribe as those who were dedicated to life and willing to sacrifice to protect their people, emphasizing Naphtali's resilience and loyalty to the nation. In Moses' blessings for the tribes, he declared, "Naphtali is abounding with the favor of the Lord and is full of his blessing. He will inherit southward to the lake." Deuteronomy 33:23. This emphasizes the wealth and blessings that God granted to Naphtali, from natural resources to spiritual prosperity. Described as a tribe full of blessings, Naphtali contributed significantly to the overall prosperity of Israel. The tribe of Naphtali was known not only for their bravery and fighting spirit, but also for a unique cultural identity, evident in their faith in God and their generosity. In the Bible, Naphtali and his tribe are known for their kindness and generosity. They lived a peaceful life, enjoying the freedom that God granted and sharing that blessing with those around them. Naphtali's story reminds us of the strength of a free spirit and loyalty. Although not as prominent as some of his brothers, his legacy endures across generations, becoming a symbol of flexibility, resilience, and loyalty to God and his people. The free and open spirit of Naphtali, like the image of a doe set free, reminds us that sometimes resilience and adaptability are the keys to overcoming life's challenges. The tribe of Naphtali became a symbol of harmony between strength and kindness, providing Israel not only with protection but also as a source of blessing that endured and thrived across generations. Dan, the 10th son of Jacob and the firstborn of Bilhah, Rachel's maidservant, is known as a symbol of judgment and justice within the nation of Israel. The name Dan means judgment, reflecting Rachel's hope that God would judge and bring justice for her in her rivalry with Leah over bearing children. Jacob's blessing and the prophecies concerning Dan highlight his important role in maintaining order and justice within the people of Israel. When blessing Dan, Jacob said, Dan will provide justice for his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Genesis 49:16. This prophecy suggests that the tribe of Dan would have a special role in administering justice and maintaining order within the community. This was a great responsibility requiring wisdom, insight, and fairness. The tribe of Dan was expected to be defenders of justice, contributing to the stability and peace of Israel by resolving disputes and upholding fairness. However, Jacob also warned that Dan would be like a snake by the roadside, a viper along the path, that bites the horse's heels so that its rider tumbles backward. Genesis 49:17. This image can be understood in two ways. On one hand, it represents the cunning and tactical nature of the tribe of Dan, capable of defending itself with cleverness and agility rather than direct confrontation. On the other hand, it also serves as a warning about the potential risks within the tribe, implying that the tribe of Dan could become unstable and even cause significant issues for the nation if they fail to control themselves. In Israel's history, the tribe of Dan was given land in the southwest, near the Mediterranean Sea, a challenging area, as they faced powerful and influential foreign nations. Life on the border and encounters with other nations gave the tribe of Dan a unique identity. They became independent, brave individuals, but also somewhat rebellious. One of the most notable figures from the tribe of Dan was Samson, the famous judge of Israel, known for his extraordinary strength. Samson embodied both the strength and weaknesses of the tribe of Dan. He was a great warrior who fought against the Philistines and defended Israel for a long time. However, Samson was also easily tempted and prone to sin, ultimately led to his death by his love for Delilah. Samson's story exemplifies the potential and risks of the tribe of Dan. They had the ability to bring protection and justice, but without restraint, they could cause serious issues. In the later history of the tribe of Dan, a significant event occurred when a portion of the tribe migrated northward to find new land due to difficulties in maintaining their original territory. There, they conquered the city of Laish and renamed it Dan, establishing a new center of power for the tribe. However, the northern tribe of Dan later tended to stray from God and fell into idol worship, becoming one of the leading tribes in idolatry, a practice condemned by God. This contributed to weakening the tribe and distancing them from God's protection. Although the tribe of Dan played a significant role in upholding justice, their history also warns of the consequences of unfaithfulness and straying from God. Internal divisions and temptations from foreign religions led to the decline and loss of the tribe of Dan. They could not maintain their position as the guardians of justice that Jacob had foretold. Dan's legacy is a complex story of justice and temptation. His tribe demonstrates that upholding justice and protecting the community requires loyalty to God and discipline. Dan symbolizes the fight to maintain justice, but also serves as a warning about the consequences of a lack of control and straying from the path. Dan's story reminds us that strength and justice must go hand in hand with loyalty and wisdom. Otherwise, they will lead to inevitable failures and losses. Joseph, the 11th son of Jacob and Rachel, is a prominent figure in the Old Testament, bringing a story of rare loyalty, faith, and forgiveness. Joseph's name holds deep symbolic meaning, derived from the Hebrew Yosef, meaning God will add or God will give increase. This name reflects Rachel's hope that God would bless her with more, especially children, as she had endured many years without any. When naming Joseph, Rachel exclaimed, "God has taken away my disgrace, and may he add another son to me." Genesis 30:23-24. This name was not only a personal hope, but also a prophetic indication of Joseph's life, as he would add salvation and blessings to his family and the nation of Israel. Joseph's name also symbolizes the increase of blessings he would bring, from saving Egypt from famine to uniting his family. He is renowned for his resilience in overcoming adversity, rising from a slave to the ruler of Egypt. Joseph's life is a testament to God's power in turning misfortune into goodness, bringing hope and salvation to the people of Israel. From a young age, Joseph was especially loved by Jacob, shown through the colorful coat he received from his father, symbolizing special favor. The coat was not only a material gift, but also represented a higher status within the family, which increased his brothers' jealousy. The book of Genesis states, when his brothers saw that their father loved Joseph more than any of them, they hated him and could not speak a kind word to him. Genesis 37:4. Joseph also had special dreams which he believed were prophecies from God. One dream depicted his brothers' sheaves bowing down to his sheaf, and another featured the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowing down to him. Genesis 37:6-9. These dreams foretold that Joseph would hold an important position, even to the point of ruling, which only intensified his brothers' anger. Eventually, Joseph was sold by his brothers to a caravan of traders and taken to Egypt as a slave. In Egypt, Joseph was sold as a slave to Potiphar, a high-ranking official in Pharaoh's court. Despite being a slave, Joseph worked hard and honestly, quickly earning Potiphar's trust, who entrusted him with managing his entire household. The Bible describes the Lord was with Joseph, and he prospered in the house of his Egyptian master. Genesis 39:2-4. Through his loyalty and diligence, Joseph earned Potiphar's complete trust. However, another major test arose when Potiphar's wife attempted to seduce Joseph. Despite the temptation, Joseph refused out of loyalty to his master and faith in God. "How could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?" Genesis 39:9. After being rejected, Potiphar's wife falsely accused Joseph, leading to his imprisonment. Even in prison, Joseph's loyalty to God remained steadfast. The Bible records, "The Lord was with Joseph. He showed him kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison warden." Genesis 39:21. He quickly gained the warden's trust and was placed in charge of the other prisoners, continuing to show his perseverance and unwavering faith. While in prison, Joseph met two of Pharaoh's officials, the cupbearer and the baker, who each had strange dreams and asked Joseph to interpret them. With God's guidance, Joseph accurately predicted that the cupbearer would be reinstated and the baker would be executed. Genesis 45:22. His prophecy quickly came true, and the cupbearer remembered Joseph when Pharaoh had a troubling dream about 7 fat cows and 7 lean cows, as well as 7 healthy heads of grain and 7 scorched ones. Pharaoh summoned Joseph, who interpreted the dream as a prediction of 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of famine. Genesis 41:25-32. Joseph advised Pharaoh to store food during the prosperous years to prepare for the difficult ones. Impressed by Joseph's wisdom and talent, Pharaoh appointed him as the ruler of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh. From a slave and prisoner, Joseph rose to become the ruler of the land, managing resources to help Egypt and the surrounding region survive the famine. During the years of famine, Joseph's brothers came to Egypt to buy food, not recognizing him. In their reunion, Joseph tested their honesty and emotions by accusing Benjamin of stealing his silver cup. Judah, who had once suggested selling Joseph, offered to take Benjamin's place, showing repentance and loyalty to his family. Finally, unable to contain his emotions, Joseph revealed his true identity, embracing his brothers with joy and forgiveness. "Do not be afraid. I am here in God's place to save you. What you intended for harm, God turned into good to save many lives." Genesis 50:20. Joseph's forgiveness, despite being deeply betrayed, stands as one of the most powerful examples of compassion and love in the Bible. After forgiving his brothers, Joseph brought Jacob's entire family to Egypt, where they lived under his protection and prosperity. When Jacob passed away, he blessed Joseph, recognizing him as a special part of his lineage and granting him a double inheritance by acknowledging Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, as separate tribes within Israel. Joseph is a vivid example of the power of faith and forgiveness. Rising from slavery to become Egypt's ruler, his life reminds us that God can turn what seems like tragedy into opportunities for redemption and growth. Joseph's story inspires perseverance, faith, and the ability to turn adversity into blessings. Joseph's legacy is not merely power or wealth, but a spirit of compassion, loyalty, and faith in God. He is the only figure in the Bible whose life is described as a journey from slave to ruler, an extraordinary and miraculous path. For believers, Joseph's life is a powerful reminder that no matter how dark circumstances may be, loyalty to God and love can help us overcome everything and reach redemption, becoming instruments of God to bring blessings to many. Benjamin, the youngest son of Jacob and Rachel, represents a story full of emotion and strength. Born under tragic circumstances, Benjamin's mother, Rachel, passed away during his birth. Before her last breath, she named him Ben-Oni, meaning son of my sorrow, a name that echoes the tragedy she endured. However, Jacob, with love and intense hope for his young son, renamed him Benjamin, meaning son of my right hand, or son of strength. This name embodies all that Jacob hoped for, that Benjamin would be a comfort and strength to the family, a source of blessing in a turbulent life. As Joseph's only full brother, Benjamin received special love and protection from Jacob, especially after Jacob believed Joseph was lost. To Jacob, Benjamin was not only the youngest son but also a symbol of Rachel's love, the final hope from the wife he cherished most. Thus, when the famine forced his brothers to go to Egypt to buy food, Jacob was reluctant to let Benjamin go, agreeing only after Judah pledged to ensure the youngest son's safety. Jacob's final blessing for Benjamin stated, "Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. In the morning he devours the prey. In the evening he divides the plunder." Genesis 49:27. This prophecy reflects the strength and unyielding spirit of the tribe of Benjamin, known for its fearless warriors and unwavering loyalty. The tribe of Benjamin played a significant role in Israel's history, standing out as valiant warriors who defended their land and were ready to engage in fierce battles. Among Benjamin's descendants was King Saul, Israel's first king, known for his courage and steadfast leadership. This tribe symbolizes loyalty and bravery, with extraordinary stories throughout Israel's history. Despite facing numerous challenges, they consistently protected the nation, fighting not only with strength but also with unwavering resolve. Benjamin, the youngest son born out of sorrow, became a source of strength and hope for Jacob. He carried the legacy of courage, resilience, and loyalty. His image symbolizes a profound love that overcomes even the harshest trials, reminding everyone that true strength comes from love and faith. In Benjamin's presence, Jacob saw not only the shadow of Rachel, but also an enduring legacy, a spirit as indomitable and fierce as the wolf ready to fight and protect, a flame lighting the Israelite family for generations. Through blessings and trials, betrayal and redemption, God meticulously used each strength and weakness of Jacob's sons to build the foundation of Israel, a nation that would bear his name and fulfill his eternal promises. Each son, with their unique flaws, passion and courage, contributed to the larger picture of a chosen nation, a people who would carry God's light to the world. They are proof that no path is too lost, no heart too hardened, and no mistake too great for God to transform into goodness, into a meaningful part of his plan. Reflecting on the story of Jacob's 12 sons, we see the strength of perseverance, loyalty, and redemption. From Joseph's steadfast loyalty to Judah's courage, Reuben's repentance to Benjamin's unwavering love, each son embodies a lesson. Their stories challenge us to reflect on ourselves. Are we using our strength and talents to serve a higher purpose? Do we let past failures define us, or do we choose redemption and growth in faith? Please like and share this video with those who seek deeper understanding of the Bible. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel as we continue exploring the profound lessons of God's Word, building a strong community of faith. May God bless you.